Welcome to the asylum we call Next Stop.
Swamp Man is here.
Swamp Man and the Cumberland Nature Crew, defenders of nature, enemies of the councils.
Swamp Man! Welcome to Next Stop and welcome to Swamp Man on the Cumberland. Whoa. Yeah! Swamp Man! Out on the Cumberland, and that's why they call me Swamp Man now. See you guys on the Next Stop, folks. Is that a brown snake? Lizard? What's that? Let's get him. Woo! Yeah! Somersault dive roll, guys. The caveman's back. Swamp Man is back, folks.
Hey guys, welcome out to the Next Stop on Tuesday, camping, wildlife and fishing show. And as autumn approaches and the weather drops on the Cumberland Plains out here on the wetlands, the evolution of a different species of creatures starts to emerge from the depths and come out in the cooler weather. A change of species, so it's great for us guys. We can get out there and check out a whole new species of different animals in every season. And we have birds of prey that come out at this time of year, just magic. And there's a whole range of other creatures. So without further ado, let's get out and explore this gorgeous Cumberland woodland plains and see what we can find as the weather dims down. It's getting a little bit cooler now, that's for sure. So as winter comes along, we shall go hunt some new species with the Swamp Man. The Australian bush, bathed in sunshine, we forge ahead through the assortment of gorgeous melaleuca, paperbark, callistemon, gums, eucalypts, just magnificent. And the smell of the Australian bush is just like no other. So come wander with us and let's see what we can find on the next stop today. Absolutely beautiful out here. As we wandered down the track, the first stop was a slight surprise. The weather is cooling down here so much, so to see this guy out here getting what little rays are left here in the cool autumn months, he had the neck flattened right out so he could catch as much of those rays as he could. The solar panel, it was spread wide in the back of that neck there, and an absolutely gorgeous specimen of a red-bellied black snake. On the Cumberland and in Australia, we just love our snakes. We love it. And here I am, try and creep in a little bit closer as I do and get some more footage. I like to push my luck and get in as close as I can to these guys, and I wouldn't suggest to anyone except the most experienced bushman to get in this close to a reptile, especially a venomous snake like the red-bellied black snake or an eastern brown. And I absolutely love both of these species, and I don't mind getting up really close and personal. I've even been known to lie down in front of these guys and film. Just beautiful, that snake. As he heads off into the bushes, and we'll head off, find out what's on our next stop, folks. The east coast of Australia, home to some beautiful, absolutely amazing birds. This is the eastern rosella of New South Wales and Queensland, and stretches down to the bottom of Australia. Just an absolutely magnificent animal. Just hops down a little bit further down the tree, and as you can see here, the colours and the patterns on these guys are one of Australia's most magnificently coloured parrots you'd ever find. The grasslands parrot, they're always close by the wetlands, and they like the seeding little plants and seed pods such as the millet seed down on the track. And when it's dry, they don't mind it at all. There's a lot of seed pods that break out in the dry weather, so you see these guys a lot in the dry plains. So a magnificent bird out on the east coast of Australia in New South Wales. Western Sydney has some of the most special birds you'd ever see, and an absolute favourite, I must say. I think everyone loves the rosella. They're just a classic Australian icon in the birds. So yeah, our next stop, an absolute bottler. There's nothing like seeing these guys. Those colours and the patterning along the back, magnificent, folks. So we kept our eye on this fella. Just thought we'd stop off, pull up the Cumberland Express so we could view the beauty of one of our most favourite parrots on the Cumberland Plains. Let's hit the next stop, folks. On our next stop, we see the beautiful pied cormorant, the fisherman out on the pond. Just been under the water, no doubt, and these guys are just remarkable to watch. They swim along the top of the water, and then they'll dive down a few feet under the water, and they'll snavel any little fish or eels or anything they can get their wings on, or their beak on, sorry, and they'll come back up and eat that. And after they've had enough of a feed, they love nothing more than just a sunbake out on a log like this, spread their wings because they can't fly very well with the wet wings. So next stop, an absolute bottler. Under the golden Australian sun, the next stop, we pull up the Cumberland Express to follow this beautiful common moorhen along the swamplands, feeding on little algae and duckweed and other things. And these wetlands are so important a part of the ecosystem of Western Sydney. They are just magnificent. As the sun beams down and the water slowly evaporates and drains from the wetlands in Narragansett Reserve at Doonside, we watch the common moorhen peck along the edges. Soon enough, he'll have to find another section of the wetlands as the ponds dry up. For now, these guys are safe, but the wetlands, such an endangered ecosystem amongst the Cumberland. Okay guys, just amazing. Out on the autumn Cumberland Plains, we just have a look at the simple tree and the importance of these trees and the hollows that give home to a lot of our animals. So you can see up in this tree here, we've got a magic hollow. Could be home to a boobook owl or even a tawny frogmouth nest. So just amazing. That's why we've got to save all of these beautiful trees out on the Cumberland Plains and everywhere else in Australia. These gums, eucalypts, melaleucas, acacias, they define us. These callistemon, they're so Australian. So save these trees and the precious hollows for generations of animals to come. Oh, what a ripper, folks. Another red belly in the grass here at the Cumberland. Just hope we'll be able to see him in here. It's up around this way somewhere. Just see him coiled up just there in the grass. Another red-bellied black snake on the Cumberland Plains. So I'm going to try and get down here and get a bit better footage, of course. So let's see how I go. Nice snake, really nice snake. So I might just zoom back. Check this little beauty out, mate. The Eltham copper butterfly. Just a beautiful little butterfly. Those oranges are just magnificent, they really are. Just gorgeous. So out on the Cumberland, on the next stop, just on the side of the track, we spotted this beautiful butterfly. And the Eltham copper butterflies, they're not a real big butterfly. They're only about the size of a dollar coin. And yeah, I haven't seen many of these around. So a magic find out on the Cumberland with the caveman, the swamp man Keezy. So beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And looks like it signals us. We better head out, find out what we got on our next stop on the Cumberland Express, the Cumberland Nature Crew. And remember, if you like the show, subscribe and support us guys. Wayne Keys, Next Stop Wildlife Show. Sometimes the staples are some of the most important things, because they're the things that remain long after the cold weather comes. These tiny little garden skinks, Australian raven, you can see that beautiful pouch underneath the chin. Just going across the wetlands here. Have a look around, digging around for some food. Beautiful looking bird. As we follow the Australian raven around on his search for food down in the wetland section here. Just having a look in there. He's thinking there should be a lot of prey in that long grass there. And let's see if he comes up with the goods here. Searching in there. There'll definitely be a lot of prey in there. You're looking for some little worms or skinks or frogs or anything you can get a hand on, this bloke. They are a beautiful bird. I really like the Australian raven. They're different than the crow. They've got that pouch underneath the chin. You'll see him puff it out every now and again as he ventures into the long grass searching for food in Cumberland. Welcome out to the famous log of Nurraginji Reserve at Doonside. World famous log. And let's have a look what we've got today on the next stop on the world famous log, guys. Some sort of beautiful duck down there. Let's get in a bit closer and see what sort of duck we have here today. Oh, he's an absolute bottler, eh? Looks like a female wood duck from what I can see. Absolutely magic looking ducks. And they're a staple out on the Cumberland, these guys. Oh, look at him waddling along. Hey, the waddler. Oh, I feel waddler, he nearly slipped in. Be careful, mate. Off he goes. Is that enough? Moving on to the next stop. And just like we will, have a bit of a drink, dip in the water, wag of his tail, and he's off. Here we have it, folks. One of a number of different bush flies out here on the Cumberland. We used to call this guy the green bottle. Magic looking iridescent greens on this guy. Just beautiful. Another magic insect out on the Cumberland Plains. As important as the biggest ape. As midday approaches in the Cumberland, the sun is at its hottest. But at this time of year, autumn, it's not so hot at all. So we'll venture through this little section here, prime brown snake territory or red belly black snake territory. Okay folks, let's make our way out of eastern brown snake territory, back to civilization, through the magic Australian bush and the smell of eucalyptus gums. Nothing better than a walk in the bush, and I hope you've enjoyed the day. It was an absolute cracker, out in the autumn sun on the next stop with a Cumberland Nature crew. Hey guys, that was the last stop on the Cumberland Express for today, but we'll be back tomorrow with more adventures, camping, fishing and wildlife on the next stop. So, hope you enjoyed the show today. If you did, give us a like and subscribe, support us guys on the Cumberland Nature crew to save our Cumberland, and we'll be back tomorrow, more adventures, and from the caveman on the Cumberland, I'll see you guys on the next stop folks, which is going to be tomorrow. So as the weather cools down a bit, less and less reptiles, but we will soldier on and find some wildlife for you guys. Be a bit more camping on the show in the cooler months, so we'll track down some beautiful mammals and nocturnals and give you some camping footage as well, a bit of fishing footage, just to keep things interesting during the cooler months. So let's get out of here. On the next stop, I'll see you tomorrow guys, see what we got.